So am I audible now? I hope now am I audible. I hope I am audible now. I can see my mic working here. Great, great. So sorry everybody to all those people to whom it was not audible. No issues, no issues everybody. Hi. So first of all, memes Babai, whatever interview you've given, please tell the details of it. Then only I can actually help you out with that. So hi everybody. Hi. Excited for the day 2? Tell me. Excited for the day 2? So before I go ahead, a few things to mention here. Number one is you can follow me on this particular Instagram handle. Fine. And here, if you follow me, you can directly ask your queries. Number one, directly get your queries solved. Along with that, what benefit does it offer to all of you? So the second benefit that it offers is if you DM me challenge, you can actually get some special coupon codes. Fine. Great. And apart from this, anything, any guidance you want, so I'll guide you there. Fine. So you can join me there. Excited but feeling worried. Somebody is asking, Praveen is asking how much DS is required for clearing TCS Prime. Easy to medium level questions. See, all 3-year degree. Okay, so you'll get it within 1.5 months or 2 months from the date of interview. Don't worry. I told you, Praveen, I've given you answer. Fine. So let's go ahead. Without wasting any time, let's start studying. So we had studied about arrays and we had studied about hash maps. Fine. We had studied about hash sets. So that all we have studied so far. So CSM team put my Instagram account link here so that people can access it. Along with that, arrays and hash maps are one thing that we had studied. Today we would go ahead and study valid anagram. Fine. This is a problem, valid anagram. We'll check whether a string is valid anagram or not. So my team has posted the link of Instagram. Fine, you can straight away go on that link and connect with me. So valid and all the topics of DSA in 7-day series. Shridhi, all the topics that are most frequently asked and that can cover the maximum span of DSA for all of you, so that in maximum companies you are somehow or the other able to answer fine all the questions. That's my primary motive. So that would be done here. I'm not saying that I'll do topics like tries or 2D dynamic programming. No, in 7 days I'll not do that. As simple as that. You'll need that extra effort from your side. But yes, 1D dynamic programming I would discuss. Fine. I would discuss trees. I would discuss graphs. Don't worry about that. Fine. I'll try my level best to deliver you whatever I can. Fine. I'll discuss stacks. I'll discuss linked list. I'll discuss all the important things that are being asked. I'll discuss 2 pointers. Fine. So valid anagram. And apart from that, what else are we going to do? So we are going to check palindrome, but this checking of palindrome would be done in an optimized manner using 2 pointers. Fine. So we'll use the 2 pointers approach. Okay. And then if we find time and if we are still left with some time, then we'll go ahead with the 2 sum problem. I've always been bad with W. Fine. So 2 sum problem. We'll see to it as well using the same 2 pointer approach. Fine. So what is 2 pointers? We'll understand it. Don't worry. So first of all, I'll go ahead and I'll explain you about anagrams. Now what are anagrams? All those words that contain same, first of all, they have same length. Number one. 2 strings that have same length, first of all. Okay. And what is second thing? The second thing is constituent elements are same. Fine. Constituent elements are same. Is it clear to everybody? That I'll tell what you need to learn. In the last day, on the day 7, I'll tell what exactly and how exactly you can study the DSA further so that you can go ahead and crack some big product based companies as well. Fine. Sir, can you make the videos on cognizant preparation? I'll try covering, but what exactly do you want? You can tell me ahead. Fine. So I've given you what exactly is anagrams. Focus यहाँ पे करो, ठीक है? जो चीज हम पढ़ रहे हैं, focus on that. So tell me, is anagrams clear so far? What is anagram? Is it clear? Tell me. Now, if you understood anagram, give me some example of it. What is an anagram? Give me some example of anagram. For example, I'll give you one example. Gum, correct? And mug are actually anagrams. Fine. These two words are anagrams. Fine. Such words, also this is basically a word which if I reverse becomes mug, but not every time it would be like that. Always follow these two conditions for any anagram. Two strings that have same length and constituent elements should be same. Madam is actually a palindrome. Fine, that is not an anagram. Anagram will always have two words. Now, I need a pair of words to say whether they are anagram or not. Fine. You need two words to say that whether those words are anagram or not. For example, gum and mug. These are two different words. They have two different meanings. Also, these strings should be meaningful, but not exactly for the coding. Can and van. No. C and V are different. Isn't it? I'll show you some examples. Wait. So everybody was saying we understood it. If had you understood it, you would have easily answered this. I'll show you some anagrams. Fine. See. If you see race car and car race. Fine. Exactly equal number of particular elements in both string, and those elements should also be same. I'll type here anagram. Typing on a vertical keyboard is actually a problem. Anagram. Fine. So let's see some examples of anagrams if I can see here. Otherwise, I'll simply type it out. Fine. Examples. So yes, see, I have some example here. So you have cider, you have debit card, and you have various other things that you can form. For example, race and care, part and trap, heart and earth, knee and keen. Fine. This particular image would help you out with the same. Fine. So these are anagrams. Now, did you understand what is anagram? Now is everybody clear with what is anagram? For example, I'll write those examples here. Race, care. Now if you carefully see, the order of elements are absolutely different. They are not even the reverse of each other. No, nothing like that works. But these two strings have same length, same constituent elements. Is it clear now? Tell me. Is anagram clear? Because post this only we can check any string now for anagram or not. If you do not know anagram itself, how would you check whether a string is anagram or not? No on, correct. That is also anagram. Fine. So far clear to everybody? फटाफट बताओ. Be interactive in the chat session. यार. As much as you can interact here, that would help you. Why? The more you interact, the better connection you would have, the better you would remember and recall this problem. Fine. So what else? Part and trap, maybe, right? Part and trap. This is also an anagram. So let's go ahead. Game and mega. Okay, I don't know what mega means, but yeah, mega, correct. Magnanimous and things like that. Megabyte and things like that. Fine, works. So let's go ahead and let's understand what exactly you have to do. So for example, you have this string called race and care. These are two things. Now we need to check whether it is a valid anagram or not. What will we do? We will go ahead and I'm straight away telling you the best and the most optimal approach. Fine. So we'll go ahead and we'll have such memory location with us, and we will have such 26 partitions. Fine. So you will have 26 partitions. These partitions would be ordered till 26. Fine. So let's say 0 to 25 are the partitions, correct? So actually you have 26 alphabets, and every alphabet A, B, C, D would be occupying a place. Fine. If I started from 1, it would be till 26. Okay. However, we are preferring 0 here, correct? We are preferring the indexing with 0. I've just told you about that indexing. Now if I find R, what we are going to do is we'll take the word race. Fine. I'll take the word R. Say for example R is somewhere here. R is somewhere here. Initially I'll update all the values with 0. I'll update it to 1. Fine. Then I'll go ahead, I'll see A. I'll update A to 1. I'll see C. I'll update C to 1. Then I have E. So E would be updated to 1. Now when I go from care, what would happen is I would start from here. Fine. I would see C. So I would make it 0. Then I would say here A is present. So again A would become 0. And always think rest all the complete memory locations throughout are carrying the 0 value. Then you go to R. Fine. You find R, you make R 0. You find E, you make E 0. Fine. Now if the whole complete memory location or the array or whatever dynamic array you want to call it, if it is 0 in the end, fine, if it is still carrying all 0 values in the end, then it is true, then it is anagram. Fine. And if by any chance you do not have 0, for example had it been cares, fine, so at this point, or for example this would have been races, then it at this point of time it would have been different length, correct? Or what if I would have said that the length is same but here the word is I. Fine. What if I had said here the word is I? Then I would have become 0 and E would have remained 1, correct? So it would have remained 1. So in that case you would have been encountering a memory location where not all the values are 0. Fine. So in that sense it would become false and it would not be an anagram. Is it clear? Is the logic clear to everybody? Yes, you can use hash map for optimized solution. That can absolutely work. But why am I preferring this, or rather why am I saying this, that you can go ahead and use this kind of solution? Because this would simply mean that you would store those values. Hash map is definitely the way forward. We are going to solve in an optimized manner. I'll show you hash map method also. Fine, don't worry. So far is it clear to everybody? फटाफट बताओ. Is so far clear to everybody? बहुत बढ़िया. Let's go ahead, let's watch the code. Let's understand through code. Fine. So I'll just switch to this portion. So first of all we'll see the sorting method. How do we do this? Initially what was the thing? First of all check the length. If the length is different, it is not at all an anagram, right? So we take a bool function which has bool return type, and this I am explaining the C++ code, then I'll go to the Python code. Fine. Hi, good evening sir. Shashank sir, hi, good evening. I remember you, don't worry. Fine. So I'll go ahead, focus here. So first of all I'm explaining this in C++, then I'll explain this in Python. So you have bool return type of this function called as is anagram. You have two strings, string s and string t. These are basically two inputs that you will give to your anagram. Fine. And then if s dot length, so basically the length of s, if it is not equal to the length of t, if this becomes true, then you have to return false. That anagram is, it is not an anagram, you would simply return false. Fine. Otherwise if the length is same, you will basically sort both the, I would say, strings. For example, say race and care were the two strings. You would sort them both. They would be in the same particular order after sorting because they have indexed values which are Unicode values. So in the sorted Unicode value, they would be aligned, and then both the sorted arrays would be compared. If they are the same, then it is definitely an anagram. Otherwise, you would return false. So basically, you are going to check this condition s equal to t. If this is true, then true would be returned. If this is false, then false would be returned. Is it clear so far? Is the code absolutely clear in C++? When did the class start? This class started at 5 p.m. buddy. So this is the first question. Don't worry a lot. This is the first question only. You have not missed anything, Nishant. So far clear everybody? C++ वाला code समझ में आया? फटाफट बताओ. Then I'll proceed forward to the Python code. The logic is same. First of all, check the length. If you don't find the length correct, then return false. If you find the length correct, then sort both of these strings and check whether both strings are equal. Okay, great. Let's go ahead. Let's go to the Python one. Fine. Can you explain once again? Yes, I'll explain. Shashank, in Python itself, it is even more easy. See, you defined a function is anagram. Okay, you have a self parameter for referring to the instances. You have a parameter called s, which is of string type. You have t, which is of string type. Fine. No issues, Shashank. I'm explaining in Python. That is why for you only I'm explaining in Python, buddy. Now you have this return type bool of this function. So whatever return type this function can have can be of two values, either true or false. Fine. So this function can return only two values, which is true or false, because bool is the output return type. Fine. So bool is the return type, so henceforth. Now, if I go further, I'll check the length of both. You have used this function with me, Shashank. Length of s and length of t I'll compare. If they are not equal, I would return false, because if the length is different, it can definitely not be an anagram. Is it clear so far, Shashank? यहाँ तक समझ आया, Shashank? Tell me. Then I'll go forward. And to all Python enthusiasts, I'm asking you, is this clear so far? Length वाला portion clear है? Then I'll go forward to this line. This is very easy, very basic. Fine. Great. So when I move here, if it is of same length, then I'll proceed forward. Fine. This if would not work. I'll go ahead and I'll use this sorted function. Fine. So it would basically sort the string s and it would basically sort the string t, and then both the sorted strings would be compared. Fine. You compare both of them. If both of them are equal, then you return true. If both of them are not equal, you return false. Easy peasy. आसान है? Is it easy? मजा आ रहा है सबको? Now let's go ahead and see this hash table one also. Fine. So what does this hash table do? Let's see. So here we have declared this specific code. I'll explain you this code as well. Very easy code here also. So same thing, one self instance, one s string, one t string. Bool is the return type, and length, if it is not equal, return false. Now the real thing goes when we compare it using this particular hash map. I would not use this particular code because it is a non-optimal code. However, I would explain you the basics of it. Fine. So I would never say that you should prefer this code, because this is actually a non-optimal code. However, we are using dictionary here. Fine. And for large strings, it is generally useful. Now you go ahead, you do this count s method, and you keep on counting you keep on getting the strings here. Basically you get the Unicodes, and after getting the Unicodes, you keep on adding one to them, and then you can simply check whether the same ones are there. Whatever I explained you here, the same 1 and 0 method. Fine. Okay, so 1 and 0 is gayab. We just skipped, I guess. Is it? Or do we have that window? Let's check. Yes, I guess we don't have. Yeah, I do have that window, so I'll escape it and I'll keep these annotations. So the same 0 1 thing we were doing, the same it is happening here. So we are adding one. Fine. You're not subtracting one, you're using another dictionary where you can add one. Fine. Now you have two different dictionaries. You have two different dictionaries declared here, and in both of them, basically, if I take such array again, I'll show you, or such dictionary again, I'll show you what I'm saying. See here. If rather than decrementing Why isn't it letting me edit? So I'll move myself here again. Let's see whether now it lets me edit or not. So for some odd reason, all the things have not been working correctly. I don't know why it's happening, but no issues. Now I guess it's working correctly. Yes, it is. So basically what I'm trying to say is we have two such dictionaries. Fine. Basically dictionaries do not look like this. They are generally a key value pair. Fine. So rather let's go ahead and create it in a dictionary format only. Fine. So I'll have this dict1 and dict2. So it is A, B, C, D, E and R and so on. Fine. So it is being like this, and same here, A, B, C, D, E and so on, and then R and then so on till Z it would go. Fine. So these are two dictionaries. For every element I find here I would update one. So for A I updated 1, for pardon, for R first of all I would go 1, then A1, then C I would update as 1, and then E as 1. Then here if it is care, just imagine if it is care, then A would be 1, C would be 1, R would be 1 in the order of their occurrence, and then E would be 1. So if you carefully see this dictionary and this dictionary, both of them look same. Is it correct? If dict1 and dict2 are equal, then definitely they are anagrams. This is also one method. However, this is not suggested. The reason is you are occupying extra space. We could use one dictionary like this, isn't it? First of all, tell me, is it clear to you? Is the hash map approach clear to everybody? Tell me that. Is the hash map approach clear to everybody? Tell me. Complexity is same in both codes, optimal and no. So what's the difference? You're occupying extra space here. Fine. You're occupying extra space, Shruti. Works? Now, great if you guys are clear with it. Now the best approach that I had explained you initially, that was the best possible approach. I'll explain in Java as well. Don't worry, but I'll explain it. Fine. So I'll go ahead, I'll keep it up, and let's go ahead here. So first of all, you got it here. What exactly is happening? Fine. Hi, just joined. Which language are we using? I'm explaining the code in all the languages. Fine. I'm explaining it in C++. I'm explaining it in Java. I'm explaining it in Python. So whichever candidate you are, you'll have your code. Don't worry. Now if you see it here, first of all, let's go ahead in Python. This is the same thing happening. Now what does this odd function do? First of all, this much I hope is clear. I have explained this enough. We'll check the length. Then if the length is not same, return false. Now if you have the same length, then you basically put out a list like this. Fine. Like this, you basically declare a list. Fine. A count named list. And this count will have 26 divisions. In that, till you exhaust the string, basically length of s, because both the lengths are same, so any length you can take. Then you take the list. Initially it was initialized with 0. Why did I write the 0? So all the 26 locations would be initialized with 0. Fine. Then you go ahead here. What does this odd function do? So this is basically order. You get the order of a particular alphabet. I'll tell you what exactly I'm saying. If you correctly remember, I had told you something about indexes, right? I had told you these are the indices that you are going to have here: 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Fine. So for example, if I use A, odd of A, fine. So that would be, if I'm not wrong, 97. The value is 97. This is the Unicode value. You need not to memorize it. Need not to memorize it. Now if I say odd of A minus odd of A, so you would be, and this A should be in single inverted commas. Fine. So you would basically have 0, because 97 minus 97 is generally 0. But if I go ahead with order of B, so B is generally 98 if I'm not wrong in the Unicode. Whatever it is, the difference between the order of B and order of A is basically 1. Fine. So 1 is assigned to B, and in such case you can assign such 26 locations where the last for Z 25 is there. Is it clear? Is it clear so far? What exactly is this OR doing? I would explain you every part of code, don't worry. If it is Python, great, thank you so much. So if it is Python, I'll explain you every part of code. If it is Java, I'll explain you every part of code. If it is C++, still I'll explain everything. So basically you're going to get the order where exactly the particular element is, then you basically increment it to 1, then in this step you start decrementing. Fine. Now at the end I apply another loop. If at the end the value in this count, I iterate the whole count. If it is 0, then you can return false, otherwise you can return true. Sir, your profile hiding the value? Okay, so here I guess it hid my values. Now is it visible clearly? Now is it visible clearly? I can understand what exactly you're trying to say. I hope now it is visible clearly. Fine. So order of A here, order of A minus order of A was 0. Order of A is 97 generally in Unicode, and order of B minus order of A is generally 1. And that's how you go ahead. Now is it clear, Shashank? So what exactly are you saying, Shashank? Go ahead, tell me. I'll go ahead and solve it. Tell me the issue in detail. Till then, I'll show you what's happening here. So for value in count, I'll go ahead, I'll iterate through this complete count. Fine. I'll go ahead, I'll iterate through this structure. Basically, this structure is in a key value format. Fine. This is not in an array format. This is in a key value format. Fine. Or a list can be in an array format, that too. I got camp up to 8 p.m. I don't know, Gautaman, what exactly you're trying to say. Great, Shashank. If it is clear to you, great. Hi, Jatin. Hi. So far everything is clear, and here I'll check the whole list. If it is 0, I'll return that. If it is not 0, I'll return false. Otherwise, I'll return true. It is an anagram. Fine. Yes, you can watch the replay. No issues. So far I hope Python code is clear. Now let's go into the Java code. Same thing is happening here. No difference is possible in the logic. First of all, you check the length. If it is not same, you return false. Fine. Again, the Boolean data type is there, Boolean return type for this particular function. Now what you do is you initialize a new array of 26 basically memory locations. In that you keep on incrementing the count whenever you find the character. Whenever in the second, if you see, for S string, the initial string, you were incrementing. For the second string T, you were decrementing. Fine. Same logic, absolute same logic. Then if you have 0, all the values 0 in this array, for int value you iterate throughout. Fine. In the count array, and if you find here basically in this list, if you find every value not equal to 0, so if any value is not equal to 0, you return false, otherwise you return true. Aishwarya, this is in Java only, no? This is Java. I am explaining in Java only. What's the difference? Rohit, Hack with Infi, you have an absolute well-designed course on Prepinsta Prime. You can go ahead, check that out. Shukla 10 is the coupon code for that. Aishwarya, tell me what's the doubt? I hope it is clear. I explained this code in Java only. This is an absolute Java code. Same logic everywhere. Everywhere the logic is same, just the syntax is being changed. Fine. And that's why I always say, go ahead, understand the logic first. If you know the logic, you can crack, you can solve any problem. If you do not know the logic, you will be in trouble. As simple as that. Cleared. Mohammed Faisal has cleared. Aishwarya, is it clear to you? You tell me, because you are asking in Java repeatedly. Sir, is this DSA courses available in Python? Mahesh, it is available in all the 3 languages. I am explaining the code in all the 3 languages. C++, Java, Python at the same time. Fine. I have explained Python, I have explained Java. Now I am moving to C++. See the C++ implementation. Again, you define a class solution with the public accessifier. Bool is the return type of this method, is anagram. 2 strings are the parameters, string S and string T. If the length of both are different, if the length is not same of both the strings, then you return false. Fine. Basic if condition. We have done this twice earlier. Fine. Now what I do is I declare another vector called count. So this is a dynamic sized array and it is initialized to 0. Every location in this vector, memory location in this vector, is initialized with the value 0. What I'll do is I'll deploy a for loop here. Starting from I equal to 0, the counter starts from 0 and it would go till the length of s. It would check everything. Fine. And what it would do is it would keep on incrementing the I, basic loop functioning. Now here same thing is happening. Find the index of that particular element, for example s of I. Let's go ahead and let's understand this as well. For example, it is written here. I'll write it here, it would make more clarity to you. Count of s of I. Fine. And say s was race. So this is s of 0. Fine. Minus s of, rather not minus s of a, simply you can write a. Fine, that would work. And this would give you 1 plus basically wherever this particular location is. 1 plus count of, if you see, whatever value you have, or rather you can use plus equal to 1. That also works. Fine, I'll show you. See, here you are having plus plus. You're simply incrementing it. That too works. So plus equal to 1 or incrementing it with 1 works. Fine. So you can write it in 3 ways. Either you write it this traditional method where you're going ahead, you're using the same block again, count of s of I and then minus a. Either you use this, or the best way you can write is in a very simple manner. You do not use this. Fine, you do not use this. You simply write plus plus. Fine, that also works. Or you can write count of s of I, fine, minus a and then plus equal to 1. This is also, it can be written. So basically if it is R, so Unicode for R would be somewhere around what? A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q and R. So basically it is 18th letter. Fine. So this difference would come out to be 18. So at count of, this is basically at count of 18, you can go ahead and put it in these brackets. Fine. That is essential. Now at count of 18, I would basically assign 1 because it was initialized as 0. Fine. Exactly. BCA buddy, you're absolutely right. Don't worry. So that's how I'll basically initialize it. I'll go ahead, I'll write it out, and then when again I encounter it in, when I go ahead, I have T as my another string, correct? So I have, again this is glitching for some odd reason, I don't know why. Fine. So if I go ahead and then I go for T where it was care, whenever I reach this R, whenever I reach, this would be like, for example, whatever it is, but here count of 18 would be decremented. Fine. So it would become count of 18 would now become 0. Fine. Is it clear so far? It is same thing that is happening here. Same thing. Absolutely same thing. R was 1, I found it out again in the second string, I made it 0. Now if all the values in this particular structure or this particular array are 0, 0, 0, 0, fine, then it is a anagram. If even a single value is somewhere 1, fine, then it is not an anagram. Very simple concept. Is it clear in C++ to everybody? The logic remains same, yeah, just the syntax is changing. If you see, then you move forward for int val and then you go ahead with count. Fine. So basically you check for every value, you take an integer variable val, you iterate throughout this count array and you check if any value is not equal to 0, then return false. If every value is equal to 0, then return true. Fine. Basic simple thing. Is this clear? And now this solution has ended. I have explained you the sorting method. I have explained you the hash map method. Everything is so far clear, I hope. Fine, I have given you two methods to solve this one question. And this would basically cover every concept you need to solve the questions of array and hashing. Great, great. Now I'm going to this top 150 not out questions page. And I have covered this valid anagram problems as well. Now you can easily do these problems. You can easily do the homework. Today the hash map understanding that you have understood would help you in solving other problems as well. Fine. Is the logic building clear? याद रखना logic important है. It is never about the language. It is always about the logic. Which logic you can go ahead with. Fine. अब तक is everybody enjoying so far in the live class? Because we have another question which is checking the palindrome. So I'll go ahead. So we are moving ahead to the 2 pointers. Another topic. I have given you the homework in the last class. You can go ahead and solve this out. I'll give you a homework today as well. Fine. I'll give you a homework today as well. So everybody is enjoying. Great. Very good. Where can we work, sir? In Prep Insta. Shashank, do you want to work with us? You can email us at support@prepinsta.com, or you can email me on webhub.shukla@adda247.com. So there I'll go through your profile, and wherever you fit, we can see to it. Fine. When the next topic will start? Immediately. Fine. We are going ahead with the next topic. So Shridhi is bored, I guess. Shridhi is saying, I don't want to listen to you. You straight away teach me. Why are you going ahead and beating about the bush? So no issues. Let's study, Shruti. Fine. 2 pointers is the topic. Fine. Today's homework I'll give you. Sir, is every hash map question a non-optimal one? No. Every hash map question has the optimal approach. You can go ahead and see it. Fine. So 2 pointers. Now where do we generally use it? Let's be very, very practical. So whenever you have such memory locations, or you have any string, say like this, so from one end to another end, you have to traverse it to solve any problem. But 2 pointers, how do they help? So if I want to solve any problem that is related to checking whether it is a palindrome or not, or the 2-sum problem, whether the target sum is being formed by 2 digits, I'll tell you about every problem like that. But here, let's say I want to check whether it is a palindrome or not. What is a palindrome? Palindrome is, for example, Malayalam. Fine. Malayalam is a palindrome. If you read it from here, it is Malayalam. If you read it from here, it is Malayalam. Fine. From both ends, it is the same. Correct? Or rather, if I say such word, what exact word can be? Radar. A word like this can be a palindrome. Fine. This is a palindrome. Now, for checking such things, for moving to and fro from 2 directions, you can use 2 pointers. One can be here and one can be here. Fine. You can use 2 pointers for this. Is it clear so far? 2 pointers समझ में आया किस लिए काम आता है? I'll be very, very specific and crisp. I'll not be going ahead and blasting off details here. I don't need that. I need your placements to be done right now. So is it clear so far? Front end read from and back end read from. Same, sir. Correct. Correct. So you need basically 2 pointers pointing at 2 extremes of any string or any array. Got you? Got it? Any data structure, basically 2 memory locations having data in between, you can point out at 2 different extremes. Is it clear? Shridhi, now be interactive, because we're moving ahead with the topic. So I need to have a clarity that whether you are understanding or not. Every student matters in this class. Fine. So fine. We're waiting for Shridhi's reply. Great, great. So Nishant and Vaishnavi are clear. Good, good. Crystal clear. Good. So let's go ahead and let's check palindrome. Fine. So we're checking the palindrome. How do we check it? So when you go ahead and you see this particular code here, you have a lot of codes here. You have a brute force method, which is of no use in my approach. Fine. I never prefer brute force methods. You have also a reverse string method. Fine. I don't also prefer this as well. Why? It involves string manipulation, not a good method to go with. Fine. If you want to read it, you can go ahead on the website, you can read it out, but I would never prefer this. Now you have some two pointer method here. Fine. You have a two pointer method here. Remember one thing. I will never prefer the two pointer method written here. I'll get it changed. I'm telling you. The reason is it is a very advanced code because people here are habitual of writing very good codes, very clean codes. But it is not a code that I would expect somebody to write in interview maybe. The reason is fine. It is optimized. It's great. I can even write a better optimized code with lesser number of lines. If I can do that, why not? Fine. So I will provide you the correct code for this. I will go ahead. This is using the alpha num functions. It is going ahead with so many loops. I don't want so many loops. I don't want such nested structures. This is of no use in my opinion. Fine. It is basically not solving my two pointer approach. It is using so many loops and it can be of order of n square and it does not deliver order of n often. Fine. So I'm not somebody who would prefer this. And similarly in Python, I would never prefer this. Never ever. Using so many order functions, so many alpha num functions, I don't need it. Fine. So let's go ahead. Let's understand what exactly can be the best possible code for this. I'll personally write the code here. Then we'll write the same code in compiler. Or what do you want? Should I directly write in compiler? Tell me. Do you want me to write it here first and then on compiler, or do you straight away want me to write it on compiler? Tell me in the chat section, then I'll go ahead with it. Batao फटाफट यार. The more you tell fastly, the better I'll move ahead with. In compiler only. Okay, so Preetham is saying explain first. Compiler. Most of you are saying it in compiler. Okay, no issues. ठीक है. I'll go ahead in compiler, but let's understand the logic then here. At the very least, thing in design, exactly, time complexity is a main thing. So let's go ahead and understand it here. So for example, if I tell you that I have this string s and what did we have? Red R was the string, correct? Let's understand first of all the logic that we are trying. Fine. So I have red R like this. This is my string. I make a pointer here, I make a pointer here. Say I is the pointer here, j is the pointer here. Fine. First dry run the code, then it will be okay. Fine, you have a mixed opinion. Now my discretion would work. I'll dry run it here. Fine. Because I love dry running. The reason is the better you dry run, the more you dry run, the better understanding you develop. Every time, all the people who keep on asking, nah, sir, I am unable to build the logic. It is because you haven't been doing the dry runs. Do the dry runs. These actually help you build the logic. Fine. Now, I have these two pointers and I'll simply use it in a manner I'll explain you in the code as well. But right now, let's understand the logic. So I am using these two things. Fine. Now, every time I move here, basically, every time I move ij, so anything, say, I would say s of I, fine, s of I should be equal to s of j always, isn't it? Then only it can be a palindrome, na? Because from first position to last position, things should be in a manner that if I read it from here, it should be same. If I read it from here, then it should be same, isn't it? If they are same, then increment this. Basically, I would use a different ink. So you increment this and you make it point here, I, updated I. You decrement this j and you bring the j here. Fine. Then you again check the same. Then if it is there, so basically if this works, then you should I plus plus and j minus minus, isn't it? Correct? Then there would be a place in this whole complete section, there would be a place when you would have iterated everything. Fine. Why am I saying so? Till the time I is lesser than j, till the time I would go ahead in a loop while I is lesser than j. Only then this should work. So when you reach here, I and j would become equal. After this, I and j would become equal. At that point of time, I do not need to check it because it is the very same element. Isn't it? Isn't it? So it would simply work. If everything goes on and if I find it same everywhere, then it should return me that yes, it is true, it is a palindrome. But what if somewhere I find different, say had it been E? So before this, if this is happening, so if this is equal, you should go ahead with it. If it is not equal, then what would have happened? Then it would have been that you simply return false. Fine. So I need not to write this particular condition. I need to write the not equal to condition here. Fine. I basically need to write this in a manner where I can go ahead and write this. If s of I is not equal to s of j, then what you should do is you should return false. Otherwise, if it doesn't return false in any case, then you should go ahead and you should increment basically I plus plus and you should do j minus minus. Fine. So whenever I find an element which is not same in these two pointers will keep on pointing like this. If at any instance these two pointers are pointing out to different elements, they are not the same elements, it is not a palindrome. As simple as that. Why I do not recommend string manipulation? I'll tell you why. When you have the longer strings, string manipulation fails at times in compilers. Also, string manipulation is generally not recommended. The reason for it is it distorts the primary input that has been given to you. Fine. So it is never a recommended method. It has possibilities of errors. Fine. Now I'll write the dry run code here. I'll show you that code that we are trying to do here. So I and j, I basically do 0, and this j should be length of s, fine, minus 1. So basically if I store it somewhere, so it would start from 0 and length of s minus 1 would store this. Fine. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. What is the length of radar? 5. 5 minus 1 is 4. Correct? Clear so far? Is it clear so far? I am writing it in Python only. Don't worry. The logic is same, yaar. Language can be different. The logic is same. Fine. Now, is pal. Let's write this. Fine. Is pal. So basically is palindrome. And I'll check basically for this particular function. So initially I am initializing it as true. Let's say initially I assume that this function or this variable is actually having this value true. Fine. Now what I'll do is I employ the same while loop till I lesser than j. I go with the same if condition if s of I not equal to s of j. I'm changing absolutely nothing. Fine, I'm changing absolutely nothing. So if this goes on, if this is true, then you basically change the value of isPal to false. Fine, you do this. Now, if it doesn't execute, I'll go ahead, I'll do I plus plus and j minus minus. Same thing, we have studied it. Here it should, if you find it false, here it should immediately break. Why it should break? It should come out and it should simply stop executing, because here itself we have found that it is not palindrome. Fine. Now if it does this if block, if it doesn't execute, then I plus plus and j minus minus would keep on happening, basically incrementing and decrementing of these two pointers, right? So I'll go ahead and I'll simply return now whatever value I have in is palindrome. So basically what I can do is I can use another if structure, if is palindrome or is pal. Fine. So is pal is nothing but this particular value that you're having. If this doesn't execute, it would remain true. If it remains true, what should you print? You print here it is a palindrome. Fine. If it is not true, if it in any case is not true, then you use else print not a palindrome. Isn't it more simple and easy than the codes that we saw there, order and things like that? Op placement classes would begin very soon, Shashank, and that's great that you're liking the classes which are live here. So everybody, is this code easy and simple? Isn't it more easy and simple? Tell me. I'll go ahead, by that time I'll go ahead to the compiler. I'll take my keyboard here. Fine. I'll go ahead to the compiler. I'll rather keep it here so that things can be easily done. I'll go to the prep insta compiler. By length of s minus 1. Okay, I'll explain you again. See, basically this particular value is length of s minus 1. Why so? Radar, let's take the same string. Radar is having RADAR, so basically 5 characters. Length of string is 5 minus 1 equals to 4. So this is the n minus 1th index now, the last index. Fine, Manas? Oh, you missed it. That's why concentration is important, buddy. What is dry code? This is the dry running that we just did. This is dry run. Fine, Shashank? Yes, you can simply write it in C++. There's no issue with C++ also. Now let's go ahead and let's write it in Python. Fine. So I'll write it here. Let's go ahead. S equals, I'll remove this print. I don't need it. Enough of hello world printing. We have done it a lot. So I'll say this is a string radar. Fine. The same string. I'm writing absolutely same code, no changes at all. Fine. I'll change absolutely nothing in this code so that you guys have an absolute good understanding. Fine. So this I set to true. Now if I've set it to true, what else do I need? So we needed basically a while loop where I is primarily less than j. Fine. And in this, rather I can simply write it without brackets. I don't need that. C++ structure, and simply we can go ahead till this is actually functioning. Till then I'll use my if structure and I'll go with this s of I, and I'll say not equal to s of j. Fine. If it is not equal to s of j, then it should make the is pal false, correct? But if it is not like this, then rather a break statement should be added here so that we can break immediately. If it is not there, then you can simply do the I plus plus and j minus minus. Fine. You can also say I plus equal to 1 and j minus equal to 1. This is the one and the same thing. Fine. Then I'll go ahead is, rather let's write it, if is underscore pal, then print it is a palindrome. Otherwise I would go ahead with else print is not a palindrome. Fine. So let's see, it is the same code. Where are you saying equal to? Where do we need it? Okay, Shashank, I'll connect, don't worry. Why are we using while I? Because we are using 2 pointers. Fine. So let's go ahead, let's check it out. So radar is actually a palindrome. Let's check it out. So it is saying there is some issue with it. Okay, fine, I'll write it in this manner. Fine. It is picking up some errors. Is it picking up due to the, fine, works. Fine. So you see, it is a palindrome. Radar is a palindrome. What if I put say Shridhi? Let's type her name. So Shridhi is not a palindrome. Let's check. It is not a palindrome. It is absolutely working fine. S of I equal to S of j would have made the code longer, buddy. We need to check one case where we find that it is not equal. For example, here in the first instance only we'll have this executed. Had we been checking equal to, then it would have been a longer process. No, we are trying to find out anywhere it is not equal to, and we'll immediately mark it as false. Fine. Fine, Tarun. Clear everybody? क्वेश्चन समझ में आया? फटाफट बताओ. मजा आ रहा है सबको? Is everybody enjoying the class so far? Is it easy? Tell me. Tell me. Great, great. You can easily convert this same code in C++, nothing, just int I and j would be zeros. You have to declare a string s, then you have to declare another variable with boolean data type which is isval, and you have to do it in true. Fine. Rather, yaar, use chat GPT, simply convert this code in C++. No, same goes for Java. There's no issues here. Simply, if I go ahead with Java, you simply write this string, initialize both the pointers like this. Don't use all this structure, use the same while structure that I have told you. Fine. Simple things. Do simple things. Don't be worried in tough things. Don't put yourself in tough things. Simply use this structure. The structure is given to you. You just need to replace that while and if structure here, ना? हाँ जी, मैं ट्रीज करवाऊंगा तरुण, टेंशन मत लो. डीपी भी करवाऊंगा, टेंशन मत लो. डीपी में बहुत डिटेल में नहीं जाएंगे, पर उतना सीखेंगे जितना जरूरी है प्लेसमेंट के लिए. चलो, ये तो सबको समझ में आया. आगे बढ़ते हैं और एक और क्वेश्चन देख लेते हैं, है ना? बोर तो नहीं हो गए हो? फटाफट बताओ, बोर तो नहीं हुए हो? Is everybody up for another question? Should I go ahead with another question? Tell me. I would go ahead and show you this two sum question if you guys are up for it. If you guys want me to stop, I can. I would simply give it in the homework. But I'm ready to solve it if you guys want it. Yes, please go ahead. Okay, let's go ahead then. Two sum input arrays, and this is basically great. Guys, I'm moving ahead. So what is two sum? Let's go ahead and let's understand. So this is an array given to you, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. My target is 12. And basically what is this target? It is saying that you're given sorted array of integers called numbers arranged in non-decreasing order. Your task is to find two numbers in the array that add up to a given value called target. Fine. So if two numbers add up and they add up to form this number, fine, then it is great. Then it is great for me. Fine. So the sum of 1 and 2 is 3. Fine. Since we are assuming a one indexed array, index 1 is equal to index 2 is equal to 2, and then you return 1 and 2. As simple as that. So basically what we are trying to say is you need to return the position of these two numbers. You need to return the position of these two numbers using one based indexing. So indexing should be one based, not the 0, 1, 2 and 3. And you need to find the two numbers in the array that add up to a given value of targets. Fine. Star web of sir class is master class for both Python and DSA. Awesome, sir. Thank you, Shashank. Thank you so much. Now see here, this example is absolutely wrong. Fine, I'll get this corrected with my team. Don't worry, this is an absolutely wrong example. Why am I saying so? Target is 12. How would you make 12 with 9 and 10? Neither it is an index. You had to return an index first of all. Returning these numbers, it is absolutely wrong example. Don't fall for this. Fine, don't fall for this. There are few things that are being corrected, and this is due to two pages being mapped on a single page at our backend. So we are going through this, correcting these things. Fine, don't worry, I'll get this corrected. So what exactly is two sum problem? Let's first of all understand that. Fine. I don't know why my PowerPoint is troubling me so much today. See, it is not working for some odd reason. I want it to work, but it is not working. Fine. See, fine, it is not working. Wait a minute, it will start responding in a while. Yes, now it has started responding, I guess. Correct. Now let's go ahead and let's learn through this. I need to get a lot of things, I guess, sorted out because a few things are wrong on the page and a few things here in the setup. Last time it was echoing, I guess. This time it is not echoing, but my PowerPoint is troubling me. I'll tell you, that example is not correct. Please do not follow that example which is there on the top 150 not out page. Fine, do not follow that. That is a wrong example. I'm telling you the two sum problem. Again, my PowerPoint is troubling. Today PowerPoint is saying I'll not let you teach. See, I'm trying my level best to write. How do I write? Wrong code. Yes, some of them have errors, not exactly wrong code. Some of them have errors, so that needs to be fixed. I don't know why it is troubling me. Fine. Let's see till when it will trouble me. Fine. Still not writing anything. So I'll go to this page. Fine, I don't need to resume slideshow. I don't want slideshow. I'll write it from here only. Fine. I'll take a pen. I'll change the color of it and I'll write it here itself. Fine. So what is the two sum problem? For example, say you had this array 2, 5, 6, 8, 9. Fine, you had this. First of all, it should be in a sorted manner in non-decreasing or ascending order. So what is the ascending order? 2, 5. It is in ascending order, I see. Fine. Yes, it is in ascending order. So you need not to mention it. Fine. It is in ascending order. Now, first of all, first condition is sort in ascending order. If not, fine. The second thing is check for the numbers. For example, say here target was, for example, say 11. Fine. So which numbers can give me this? 6 and 5 can give. 6 and 5 can give. Why no lead code? These are problems which are available on lead code also. Basically, Rishi, what we are trying to do is we are trying to solve these 150 different patterns which always repeat. Fine. I'm trying to make you go through those. Only these 150 patterns come in any placement test. Apart from these, no new pattern will come. I can assure you of that. Any new pattern is basically a combination of these 150. Fine. So whatever you want to learn, you can simply go ahead through these 150 list. It is an awesome list. If you go ahead, if you study all the questions carefully, if you go ahead, solve them out, you can crack any company and beat any company. I'm literally saying it. Uber, Netflix and whatnot. Fine. So coming back to these problems, fine, and these numbers. So I have groups like 2 and 9. I have this group which can form. I have 5 and 6. So these are the two numbers that can help me out. Fine. So I'll escape. Now it is working. Now it is helping me out with that. Fine. I don't know why it is helping me out with that now. But yes, we have written it here and let's go ahead. Let's see. So here, basically, you need to return the positions of the numbers which can form it out. Fine. So if I have these numbers here, so you had to return me the positions. Here it is 1 because we are using the 1 based index. So it is 1, it is 2, it is 3, it is 4, it is 5. Fine. So we are using 1 based indexing. So 1, then you have basically 5 which is 2, you have 6 which is 3, and then you have 5. So this is what your output should look like. Fine. Sir, will you explain trees and DP in this series? Yes, I would. I would, Tarun. Don't worry. I told you I would. I would explain DP and trees. Now, I'll go ahead. I'll show you the solution. It is very easy solution. Don't go for the brute force method. It is order of n square complexity. Very bad way of solving it. So, how can you solve it out now? How do you solve it? So you can simply use the 2 pointers method. I am explaining it in the 2 pointers method. Very easy thing. Let's see it in Python first. So you basically define 2 sum. Fine. You define a function called toSum. You have self as the instance method. Then you have numbers. Fine. This numbers is a list of integer type. You basically have integers here. Your target is some integer, which was 11 here with us. The list was this that you have. This was the list. Fine. Now the output is also a list of integer type, which are these indexes. Correct? So far so good. Everything clear here? Is everything clear here? Tell me. सबको समझ में आ रहा है? मजा आ रहा है सबको? Tell me. Now you use a loop. Before that you declare 2 pointers, NLR. Would you try on this 1 1 1 1 target equals to 2? That would basically return everything. You can go ahead and you can run this solution. Fine. It would return every particular index. It will return all the 1 2 3 4 5 indexes. Fine. Now if you see it here, while first of all I declare 2 pointers left and right, LR 0, and basically L is 0, R is length of numbers, basically length of this list minus 1. So here length was, let's take your example only. Fine. That would work. Rushi, let's dry run using 1 1 1 1 1. Fine. Let's dry run using this only. Great example. And the target is 2. Correct. So left is here, right is here, and the indexes are 1 2 3 4 and 5. Fine. Now if I go ahead, while left is lesser than R, what I'll do is I'll check the target sum or the curve sum is equal to numbers of L plus numbers of R. If it is greater than the target, fine, then return R minus equal, basically make decrement the R. If it is greater than, if it is lesser than the target, make it plus equal to. Fine. Now both of these would not work. Fine. And it would keep on returning 1 plus 1, L plus 1 and R plus 1. Fine. It would keep on returning this constantly. Fine. It would keep on returning this L plus 1, R plus 1, L plus 1, R plus 1. Fine. This would be returned to this. Fine. And this would be incremented in this list. It would keep on going on every time. Every incremented value would be stored. Correct? So L was initially 0. It will give 1 6. Wait a minute. I'll tell you what will happen. Here, when you are having the equal values, fine. Basically what I'm trying to say is, when you have equal values here, not in a slideshow, I would simply write it here only. So basically, when you are returning L plus 1 and you are returning R, you need not to return basically R plus 1. You can go ahead and return R minus 1. That's one thing that needs to be corrected, I guess. Yes. So you can simply write that out. Fine. R minus 1. So you would keep on returning these indexes. Fine. Then you return the next one, next pair. Then you return this pair. Fine. And it would automatically give you all the indexes. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Fine. Is it fine? All you need to do is you need to write a case. If you want it absolutely clear, if you don't want any runtime errors, you need to write a case for all the equal elements. Otherwise, here also it is working in the same logic. Fine. Fine. You can simply copy this code, put it in compiler and check it out. Because the time is running out a lot, and that's why I'm going ahead with this approach. So this is the 2-pointer approach primarily. I've explained you the 2 pointers to every extent. Now go ahead, note down your homework for today. Fine. And your homework is very simple. First of all, you need to complete the last homework. Fine. I am writing a few things. Revise previous homework. Most important. Revise previous homework. Second, after this, what you need to do is you need to solve 3-sum problem. Fine. You need to solve 3-sum problem, and that's it. Don't solve other problems right now. Just this problem for today. Fine. And this previous homework and revise classwork. That's it. Very simple homework, yet a lengthy one. Fine. Is everybody clear so far? Is everybody good to go with this? आज की क्लास में मजा आया सबको? Did you all enjoy today's class? Tell me. Clear. Great. Great. So that's good to hear every time when you guys say that yes, we enjoyed a lot. It was great class. It's always a motivating factor. But along with that, if you want to upskill yourself, I've always suggested this. I'll again suggest this. You can go ahead to Prep Insta Prime and you can check it out. Fine. I'll first of all log out from here, otherwise it'll keep on troubling me on Prime. It'll not show you the courses. So yes, you can go ahead here and you can enter this particular phase of basic coding, intermediate coding. If you want to upskill, you have data science, Gen AI, data analytics, and things like this can actually help you boost up your resume. Shukla 10 is basically the coupon code that you can use here, and you would simply have that extra 80% discount from my side. Fine. So all the students who are attending it, simply type Shukla 10 and you apply it out, your 80% discount is automatically available. Is there separate links for recording classes or same as live classes? नहीं नहीं, दिखाता हूँ, सुनो क्या करना है, देखो ध्यान से देखो. You go to YouTube. Fine. You go to YouTube. I'll show you where you can find the recorded classes of this series. Fine. You go to Prep Insta. Fine. And here if you see Prep Insta, and I'll go to this live section, you basically need to come to the channel. You need to go to the live section. You can access, see, day 1 is here, day 2 would be available here only. You can access Python for placements, day 7, day 6, day 5, day 4, day 3, day 2, day 1, everything here in the live chat, in the live section. Fine, Sai Kirtana, is it clear to you? Is it clear to you how you can exactly reach here? Also, you can join the Telegram community. I keep on posting relevant things there, so you can join that community. Fine. Great. Great, everybody. So whatever you learned here, go ahead, spread it out, teach people if they are in need, guide your juniors, guide your peers. If your seniors need the guidance, go ahead, guide them out. I'll always say one thing to all of you. Keep on spreading the goodness. Keep doing good without any expectation. Good will always come back to you. Fine, universe returns everything back in multiple forms. So don't wait for it. Go ahead, do good for people. It would come back. I can promise you that. On my own experience I've done, and things have come multifold to me. Fine. I do not deserve such things that I have right now, and that's just because maybe universe wanted that good to happen to me. Sheer luck. Sometimes people come out of nowhere to help. How do they come? It is because you sometimes help somebody without expecting anything, without knowing anything. So that's the magic of universe that always works, and that's what I'm sharing with you. So keep doing good for others. As simple as that. Have a wonderful day ahead. I'll see you in the next stream day after tomorrow. On alternate days these classes would happen. I'll see you in the next stream. Keep updated with my Instagram, with Prep Insta social media handles. There you'll get the information for the live. Have a wonderful day ahead. Bye bye.